Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's your co-host Kelsey Aida here. I am an inspirational blogger and author, and more specifically, I really like to help people manifest their desires and raise their vibration through the art of self-love. And we have Miss Lynnsey Robinson here, my amazing co-host. She is a hypnotherapist and success mindset coach. So she helps people to get their mindset right, get rid of those money blocks, hypnotize your way to success, and yeah. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
We like helping people.
You're way better at introducing me than I am. So I'm just going to let you do it from now on. But yeah, absolutely right. I love working with women to help them realign their subconscious from what isn't working more to what is working. And today we have a very, very cool episode topic that we haven't really touched on yet. And I'm kind of surprised because it's such a good one. And really, it's basically what we would go back and tell ourselves if we had the chance back when we were younger and maybe were wanting advice or searching for navigation forward. These would have been really great things to tell ourselves. But before
just freaking out in general, like I did when I was 8 years old. I was always freaking out about something.
There's always something to freak out about. But if we could go back and kind of soothe ourselves with these pieces of advice, what those things would be. But first, we have some stuff to talk about before we get into that. Do we? Do we have stuff?
Yeah, we have some announcements.
Yeah. Do you want me to do mine first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I have a couple spots left for my closing out 2019. So I have a couple one-on-one spots for clients.
For hypnosis.
Yeah, sorry. For hypnosis clients who want to close out 2019 with a bang and really start 2020 on the best foot possible, getting rid of old limiting beliefs and thought patterns that aren't serving them anymore. So if you guys are interested, go to lynnseyrobinson.com/apply-now, and it will take you step by step to apply for one of those spots. I will not be taking more than probably one or two more people. So get on it. If you want 2020 to be amazing, then I can help you do that. What else? You got one?
Yeah. I just announced, I don't know if it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, your retreat last week.
Yeah, that I'm officially hosting a self-love retreat. And it's kind of inspired by my online course, Radical Self-Love, but we're going to take it to the next level, and it's going to be in person, and I get to interact with everyone and give you all individualized and group attention. Plus, it's going to be a 5-day, all-inclusive, luxurious, beach-filled, taco-filled, fun-loving experience in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So if you want to come on the retreat with us and get your self-love on, make some friends, get a tan, we're going February.
Tan your soul and your body.
Tan your soul and your body. We are going, I believe it's February 19th to the 23rd. And I just created a wait list, and it's already filling up, and we only have 12 spots. And I want everyone who really wants to get in to come. So if you're interested at all, then leave your name on the wait list by going to kelseyaida.com/retreat. That's KELSEYAIDA.com/retreat. And I'm booking calls with everyone to see if it's a good fit. And the first couple people who put their deposit down to come to the retreat are going to get a whole month of coaching with me after the retreat. So that's like $1,000 value, which is super awesome. And another way to save money on the retreat, if you bring a friend, you guys can share a bed and save money. So if you're like, I want to go on this retreat, then
50-50
come with you, and you guys can come together, and it'll be super awesome.
So exciting. So exciting. Also, if you guys haven't yet, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/high vibe. We're giving you a lot of links, but we're going to update the description to reflect all of this, promise. And you can support the show by entering one of the tiers that we have. We have 3 tiers, and you get bonus content, exclusive discounts, you get rewards and goodies from us, and you just get kind of access to this close-knit community that we've created on Patreon. So go check it out. We would really love to see you guys there and help support the show so we can keep bringing you goodness like today's show.
Yes, and we're talking all about what we wish we could tell our younger self. So I'll let you start, Linz. What's something that you wish you could have told your younger self?
Well, when I was thinking about this topic, the first thing that jumped out in my head was it's not gonna last forever, and even it's not gonna hurt forever, because there's been a lot of times in my life where I kind of, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, just kind of wonder when it's going to pass, you know, a breakup or a loss of some kind, or any time when you're really grieving or feeling the feelings, you wonder like, okay, am I better yet? Can I please be better now? Because I can't handle this anymore. Or, you know, you think that you've kind of reached your limit, but of course it always passes, or at least lessens, and you become lessons, not lessons, but it lessens, the pain lessens, and you can start to migrate back to yourself again and start to feel like yourself again and function normally. But I think that's probably number one for me, is it's not going to hurt forever. And there's going to be things that come up in the future, of course, that are going to hurt. But I think I'm at a place now where I can remember, like, yes, it sucks today. It will probably suck less tomorrow. And that's really all you can hope for at some points. But when some time in your life where you felt like maybe the pain would never go away?
When I had depression and I became suicidal.
That's a big one.
That's why people become suicidal. They think that the pain will never go away. And who wants to live their life in pain forever? Nobody. So of course it's understandable that somebody would want to exit life early so they don't have to endure that for years and years and years. But yeah, that's a really helpful affirmation.
How long were you suicidal, Kelsey?
Suicidal, I can't say, but depressed, it was like 3 years. And then in the worst of it, I probably had like 2 or 3, it was never like an intention that I was going to kill myself, but I definitely contemplated like, well, would it be better? And then like when I had really, like depressive episodes, I would be like driving and just like crying and just like could not handle the pain. And I also didn't really understand my pain, which just made it even more confusing and a terrible experience.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted like the easy out, like, well, what if I just drive on the wrong side of the road and get hit by a bus and then it's all over? Or I don't know. I didn't want to do anything that was going to be like cause more suffering. So I was like, well, I don't want to attempt suicide.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And then I have to struggle even more and be paralyzed or whatever, like horrible things could come from it. And then I would think about my family too, like, well, that would be pretty selfish of me to just end my life when all these people care about me. So
I mean,
we can
knowing
talk
you,
about another episode, yes, but
knowing you and how like positive you always try to be, even in your worst moments from when we've talked, it's always surprising to me to hear you say stuff like that. Like you were suicidal and actually considered driving on the wrong side of the road a couple times or even once. But that just goes to show like people are hurting and you don't always see it because they're so good at not letting you know about it. So just, I'm glad you didn't, first of all, but if anyone's listening either has been through this or even if you know somebody that has or don't think you've ever met somebody that has, you probably have. So just being that ear or that, you know, we just passed Mental Health Day, didn't we? This is like,
yeah, I think it was recently.
Really good timing. But if you can just be that voice of like, you know, I'm here for you if you ever need anything. Thank you. Yeah, it was last week. Last week it was. If you can just be that pillar of support, just be that person. It will cost you nothing to be kind, and it might mean everything. So anyway, that's a side tangent. Thank you, Kelsey, for being here.
But it relates back to what you were saying about how it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, it does get better.
It was really important for me to recognize that and for other people to tell me that. Even though when other people told me and I was in that low vibrational state, I didn't even want to hear it and I didn't believe it.
Of course.
But it was the truth. Like, it's not going to last forever, you know? And when I was with my ex and he was going through all this stuff and he was suicidal, luckily I knew how to handle the situation because I had been suicidal. I was able to hold space for him and I would constantly remind him, like, you're going to be okay, even though it doesn't feel like it, even though it doesn't seem like it, even though it doesn't look like it. Like, this is not going to last forever. It's only temporary. Like, just keep reminding yourself it's only temporary.
And I also want to mention, not to like downplay how important this discussion is, but when I'm thinking of when I would have needed to hear this most was in high school when I was, you know, hormonal and going through all the stuff and a teenage girl and like my first boyfriend and my first breakup and my first sense of rejection and all that. You feel those feelings so much deeper because number one, it's the first time. Number two, you're already going through all these chemical changes and you don't know which way is up. So it just makes everything so much more dramatic. That to me, hearing it won't last forever might you know, and a lot of these things might not have had any effect on me if I really could go back and tell myself, because as you said, when you're in
Would
that
you
low vibe,
listen? Probably not.
yeah, you don't even want to know. But I think deep down, just having that acknowledgement that like, what if it did get better? What if it did just feel better tomorrow? And then the next day I just felt a little bit more myself. And then the next day I was a little bit more whole, or, you know, I took a walk and it made me feel better. Something like those little baby steps to get you out of wherever you are, would have helped. And who's to say, you know, I didn't have that in the back of my mind when I was going through this stuff. You know, time is just an illusion anyway. There was this thing, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this. There was this thing that I saw on Facebook or something, and it was like, your future self is looking at you right now through memories. And that's just like oh my God. I said that to my son and he freaked out, but it's so cool. It's like your future self is looking at you right now, or it was spying on you or something to make it more creepy. But for real though, your future self is observing you right now through memories. So like my future self, 10 years, 1 year, a day from now is going to remember this, and it will be me, my future self, looking at me right now. Is that so weird? I swear to God, I'm not high. It's just weird.
I don't think you're high. I think about life in a very like quantum perspective all the time. So I guess for me, it actually doesn't seem weird because I've been
It's just such a cool way to think about it.
A new way. But yeah, it is really cool to think about that and to connect with all the different versions of you and all timelines. And
ooh, for bonus, if we have time, we should talk about what we would tell our future selves. If we have time.
Ooh. Interesting.
I know. Plot twist. Okay, so do you have anything else to say on that topic? It won't hurt forever. I think I've pretty much exhausted that for myself.
Yeah, I think we got it.
Something we can all get on board with. What do you got? What's yours?
One that's really specific to myself and will probably resonate with a lot of listeners because, you know, law of attraction. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are similar to me listening to this podcast. Something I wish I could have told myself when I was younger is you really, truly do not need to try so hard.
Amen. Oh my God, this is such a good one.
This is so good for type A perfectionist types, Lynnsey and I. You really don't need to kill yourself to be better than everyone, to be the best you can be. Like, yes, from one perspective, try, like, care, you know, do your best. But if you're someone who does that to the extreme, you don't need to try so hard. And the perfect example of this was all my life, I was extremely academic. I was always really good at school. I got amazing grades. I took all the hard classes. I did all the extracurricular stuff, whatever. And I actually ended up going to beauty school and becoming a hairstylist. And when I got to the beauty school for like my interview or whatever, they were like, so did you graduate from high school? And I was like, yeah, obviously, like, you want to see my grades? And they were like, oh no, like, we just need to know that you graduated in order for you to be admitted here. And I was like, what? You're telling me for the last 4 years, I slaved my ass off and tried so hard and got all these perfect grades and stressed just so you could say that you didn't even care about how great I did in school.
Okay, low key.
Like, mortified.
Low key, that is exactly what happened to me. Not quite as like as dramatic as like my entire high school career, but getting to the level of hypnotherapist that I am took a lot of training. It took a lot more training than is really normal, I guess, because you can really get any amount of training and say you're a hypnotherapist. Not that you should, but you could because it's not regulated. So I went through this whole extensive training program. I got graduated with honors. I got all these extra awards for my, you know, academic achievement. Then I moved my practice to an online space, and then no one cared or asked. Because like if they come to your office, they can see all the nice, I have a full wall of like all my different plaques. I'm even a minister, for God's sakes, because you have to be in order to touch people through Reiki, which I never ended up doing anyway, but I was going to. So I have all these plaques, all these certifications. I got my 2 awards behind me on my bookshelf. And I'm like, I stopped putting it in my name even, certified hypnotherapist, because no one cares. They're just like, do I like you? Do I think you can do for me what I want done? Then yes, you're hired, which is a great thing because I feel like I have a pretty good personality and people like me generally, but it's like, come on, I did all this work. You don't even care. I'm certified. I have honors. But it's like, yeah, absolutely right. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't have tried in high school. It doesn't mean I shouldn't have tried to get these certifications, but don't kill yourself about it. You know, it's like things are coming to you.
Now.
Yeah.
Obviously it served me to some capacity, but I just wish I would have known that it really wasn't necessary to
What would you have done? Would you have had more fun?
overachieve. Yeah, if I had known that I was gonna be a beautician and just be a self-help coach and not need any sort of diploma or degree, and I wasn't gonna want to go to college, then I don't know, I would have just like focused more on dance and less on like, I wouldn't have stressed so much when I got bad grades, or not bad grades, but subpar to my
What's a bad grade for you?
A bad grade is like a B.
That's a bad grade?
Yeah, B for bad, okay?
Oh my goodness gracious. That's hilarious. B for bad. You sound like my son.
For bad.
He gets a B and he gets so upset with himself. I swear it doesn't come from me because I'm like, did you do your best? End of discussion. But
end of discussion. That's good.
But he's like, I got a B.
Well, and my parents would be like, you got a B. Like, you should be happy. Like, it wasn't, the pressure wasn't coming from anybody outside of myself except me.
Yeah.
It was all me and my own expectations for myself and my own need to overachieve and to prove that I could do it and to prove that I was the best and to prove that I could always improve. And
and you did. Great.
I did. And I exhausted myself and I got depression and then I went to beauty school. And that's the timeline.
Oh, geez. But see, here's the thing too, is every single thing that you did to overachieve and the path that you took got you in that chair at this very moment, telling other people, hey, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do that.
True.
Have more fun. You know,
Have more fun. Loosen up. What if you die next week and you were always too busy overachieving?
Yeah. My thing's basically like things for the admin side of my business, like the bookkeeping and even the website technical stuff. I do all myself because I'm a recovering control freak, but still hits me sometimes. And I'm always like 1 millimeter to the left. No, 1 more millimeter to the left. Color change, like 1% lighter. And it's like those little details I'm killing myself over. Nobody cares. I have to keep reminding myself, like, are you working or are you staying busy? Like, what are you doing here? And now it's become a really good reminder for me. But that's the perfect spot to take a break. And we will get more into things we would tell our past selves, younger selves. I want to say future for a second. Things we would tell our past selves right when we come back. We'll see you in a sec. Hey guys, welcome back. This part of the show is brought to you by Native. Native is a company that creates bathroom products we use every day. They're safe, simple, and effective, and they have natural ingredients and trusted performance. I got the lavender and rose one, the deodorant, and oh my gosh, it smells so good, first of all. Second of all, I really was attracted to this deodorant because it's aluminum free and it has mostly natural ingredients. I think all ingredients are found in nature. It's got like coconut oil, shea butter, tapioca starch, which absorbs. And that's super important to me because as a nursing mom, I feel like everything I talk about is about me being a nursing mom, but it is like important. A big part of my life.
Big part.
It's very important to me not to have a bunch of junk going so close to where the baby eats. So it's really important to me that it's all like natural and it smells amazing and it actually works. That is something, because I've tried a lot of deodorants before that really haven't held up in terms of the aluminum-free effectiveness area, but this one is way above the bar.
Yeah, Native is awesome. I'm loving my deodorant. It's eucalyptus and mint. You guys, I wish you could smell it through.
She's been talking about this all day.
Because it smells so good. I opened it and I smelled it and I was like, wow, I want everything to smell like this. Aside from my body smelling like this, eucalyptus and mint, I want it to be in like a candle. I want it to be in my body wash. I want to burn incense that smell like this. If my
she wants her boyfriend to smell like it,
I wouldn't be mad about it. Like the eucalyptus and mint is where it's at. Native is also really cool because they give free returns and exchanges in the US. They don't test on animals ever, which is amazing. They also have over 8,000 5-star reviews, which is pretty pretty impressive. And Native offers something for everyone. They even offer an unscented formula and baking soda free formulas for those of our friends who have sensitivities. If you go to 20% off, if you go to 20% off, if you go to nativedeodorant.com, you'll get 20% off your first Native purchase by using the promo code Vibin at checkout.
Yeah, guys. So go to nativedeodorant.com, put in the promo code VIBIN at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your first Native purchase. You got to check it out. It's amazing.
Get the
Seriously.
eucalyptus and mint because it smells delicious.
I mean, lavender rose, I don't know. We'd have to compare, but you're so far away, I can't smell yours. Maybe I'll get that one next time. But they also have coconut and vanilla, cucumber and mint, and like Kelsey said, eucalyptus and mint. So go check it out. Really cool. Now, let's get back to the show. What's the next topic that we have? I can do mine, or unless you want to do yours. Me and Kelsey kind of created a list of things together and separate.
Yeah, I'll go first. So another thing that I wanted, or I wish I could have told my younger self, is you're gonna be okay. And this is something that I tell myself actually all the time now, but I wish I would have known to tell it to myself back then also. Because there were a lot of moments when I really didn't feel like I was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It was gonna be okay. And just that simple reminder in times of stress, worry, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, it's really nice, you know?
You're going to be okay. And I guess my little jump on that one would be, it's not always going to be so hard, you know? Because I felt like...
brings us back to the first point when you said that's not going to last forever.
It won't hurt forever. It's not going to always be so hard. But, you know, with the first one, it was more like the sadness will pass, the hurt will pass, the grief will pass. This one's more like, I know you really want that family. I know you really, like, for me, it always was the goal to like get married and have kids. Not that that was the end of my book, but I knew that that was one of the biggest pillars. Cause I don't know why I always thought that the family aspect was, it was always going to happen. It was like so important to me that it happened. I could not stop thinking about what my kids were going to look like when I was younger. Like that was my thing. Of course, I kind of thought I would have a girl, but that didn't happen. So I'm good. I'm good with the 3 boys. But, you know, the aspect of the family and the idea of a family was really important to me. So I guess when we say it's not going to be so difficult, that to me is what I'm saying. Like I thought for a while it was like so far away. Like how is this ever going to happen? And I would stress about it sometimes because I just felt like once I had that, I would be settled and like happier. And not that that's, well, a little. I definitely think that the idea of a foundation is so important to stability. And that's something I never had growing up. Like unequivocally never had stability, never had really anything that I felt super safe.
Yeah, so like the contrast of your experience growing up is what caused you to have that huge,
I think so,
strong desire to create a healthy, functioning, loving family.
I think so. And you know, when I, with the lack of that stability, like it doesn't surprise me why I chose to uproot myself and move across the country by myself, because I kind of thrived on change at that point. Like I didn't want to stay in one place for too long because what's the point anyway? So I think, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all, but like just that idea of the foundation of like a family and a place that you could feel safe all the time. That's how I viewed it. And 100% that's what it is for me. I think I could never have dreamed of a better situation for me. But that's where my idea of it's not going to be so difficult. It's not going to take as long as you think. Just keep the faith and know what you want. I never wavered on what I wanted ever. I did think it would turn out differently, like when I mentioned with a daughter, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. I have 3 amazing sons who are, oh my God. Like if I could go back in time and tell myself, hey, you're going to have 3 kids. They're all going to be boys. They're going to be cuter than bunny butt cheeks. And you're just going to love your life. You're going to love your husband. You're going to have an amazing situation. Just hang in there. I think my head would have exploded. Oh, and you're going to be a hypnotherapist. My head definitely would have exploded because I never really saw that for myself in high school until like early college years when I really started to consider it. But then I never even jumped in the boat until 26, 27. So it took me a while to like accept that this was what I was supposed to be doing.
Nice.
just because it seems so far-fetched, but it's not always going to be difficult. It's going to get easier. Just know what you want and don't waver.
Yeah, and you're going to be okay. And I find that this is a really great self-soothing technique. If you're having a moment of panic or doubt or frustration or overwhelm or whatever it is, you can just lay down, slow your breathing, close your eyes, put your hands over your heart, and then speak to yourself in the third person and say, you're going to be okay. Like as if you're telling a
Interesting.
friend.
Yeah.
I find that that's more believable than when I say I'm going to be okay, because in that moment, I don't feel like I'm going to be okay.
Yep.
But when I tell myself you're going to be okay, like I coach myself through it, I pep talk myself through it, I feel like that's more effective.
You know, I think Marie Forleo says something similar, where she's giving herself affirmations in the mirror to pump herself up. She'll say Marie.
Yeah. Talk
instead
to yourself
of
as another person.
instead of me or I, because it's much more acceptable than to say I am, because you're too close to the situation sometimes. So by saying Lynnsey or Kelsey can have a lot more of an effect. That's interesting. I'm gonna give that a try.
I talk about that a little bit in my book, #Actually I Can, the art of affirming yourself to greatness. And I go into like the different perspectives that you can approach an affirmation from. Like you can say it in the first person if that feels best, or you can talk to yourself like you're another person, which also can feel really good. And it kind of depends on the situation, whatever works the best for you in that instance.
Yeah, go get her book if you haven't yet.
I like never talk about my book on the podcast, but I feel like I should, because it's a great fucking book.
And there's our explicit. I think it should be a game every week. I'm gonna see how long we can go without saying a swear word. We almost made it through the second segment.
What is it? We're like halfway through the show,
something like that.
You know, just being.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Just
there's bad words in the book too. The intention is great, but there's some bad words. But
listen, Kelsey's a passionate woman. Okay.
I don't think I say fuck in that book a lot. But definitely shitty is a common theme. And then there's like the way that the affirmations are set up, the lists of affirmations. It's like, if you're feeling shitty about this, say this.
So what would you say to someone who would have the argument of like, why would you even bring in the low vibes of those words? Why would you even say them?
Words, they carry the frequency of the intention that's behind the word.
I knew you were going to say that, and I was banking on you saying that, and I was waiting for you to say that, because that is so freaking perfect.
Well, you can't even me to say it, because
I didn't really, because that was my argument at first. Like, why does she even do that? That's like so low vibe. And I was like, but it's if you're saying it when you're excited, then the vibe of that word is going to be excited. If you're saying it when you're passionate, then the vibe is going to be passion. It's not going to be hate. It's not going to be negative at all. Which,
it's the intention behind the word, not the word itself.
Yeah, exactly. I
Words
could say
carry energy, but
I could say Jello shots and have complete hate in my voice, and that's what that frequency will be, is just spewing vitriol. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what do we got?
You're gonna be okay. That's the
You're gonna be okay. It's not always gonna be so difficult. That would be my add-on to that, but that is perfect. And by the way, while you're hearing us talk about this stuff, think to yourself what you would tell your past self. What would you tell your younger self that might have made the journey a little bit more easier?
Yeah, we love when you guys email us or reach out to us on Instagram. Lynnsey's Instagram is Lynnsey Robinson, and mine is Kelsey Aida. So
we love hearing from you guys. And I'm just like morbidly curious what you would tell your you would tell your younger self. I actually posted about that on my latest Instagram post. So go to my latest post, and there's actually the question. You can just put it right in the comments, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. The next one that I have, are we ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it kind of is redundant at this point because I already talked about it, really.
We keep saying all the same theme, really.
But this one is, it's worth the wait.
Ooh.
But, we can use different examples. So mine would have been my journey then versus where I'm at now and what I've created for myself. What would yours be that would follow the theme of it's worth the wait?
It's worth waiting through your depression to be alive.
There's one.
Going back to the depression scenario, it's worth, well, there's still a lot of things unfolding, but it's worth the wait. Like, I guess the theme that I'm working with lately in my life is Do you want it now or do you want it better? That's
hashtag. We should have that as a hashtag on all of our podcast posts because we've been saying that in almost every episode.
Or do you want it better? And
Yep.
I personally, I want it better. I want it the best, you know? So I'm willing to wait if that's what it takes.
I mean, you and I, most of our conversations on the phone and when we're talking to each other have to do with, oh, why is it taking so long? And we know, like when Kelsey's talking to me about this, I know she knows. And when I'm talking to her about this, she knows I know. But it's nice to have that reminder of like everything you're doing is working. The wheels are in motion. It's coming to you. Just don't stop. Like, don't give up. Don't let go.
About divine timing. Let's not be control freaky about this. Let's have unwavering faith in our desires because they're coming.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be, I have this, I'd say at least 4 or 5 times a year that I can really count on my fingers of the times when I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff. This is my vision of where I'm supposed to be at this point in time, and I'm not there. And then, of course, you start wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't it happening? Blah, 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 blah. When really it's coming. Like, you just have to wait a little more. You're doing everything right. And I know it's not the last time I'm going to feel like that, but
patience is a universal lesson for all of us to learn.
Yeah.
And we're all learning it in our own way, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what was I doing? There was one thing that really comes to mind. I think I was like actively at one point trying to be married in like right out of high school. Because I knew that's what I wanted, right? And so let's just do it. Let's get it over with. Not really like that, but like I thought that's when it was supposed to happen. And it didn't for obvious reasons. And so now I'm looking back like, I say this to my husband all the time, can you imagine if I would have gotten married? I never would have left Michigan. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was not my life path. There's 100% truth right there. It just wasn't. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And if I had done that when I wanted to versus when it was supposed to happen, dude, my life would be ridiculously different.
Dude, yes, it would be.
I don't even know who that person is. There's this thing of like, who are you without your story? And really the basis of it is like, I don't know that girl who never suffered. I don't know that girl who never had to wait for anything. I don't know that girl who got everything she wanted right away or had a different life path based on the choices that she wanted right then, right there. Like, I don't know that person. I'm so glad I'm this person who had to wait and who had to hurt sometimes and who had to struggle and had to do all these things because I like me. I think I'm pretty cool.
You are pretty
cool. Be like, yeah, that girl, whatever. People might not agree that I'm cool, but I think I'm cool. And I think my jokes are hilarious. And I laugh at myself all the time.
You're cool and you're funny and you're beautiful and you're really nice. And
why didn't I marry you, Kelsey? Come on. The universe just wanted us to be BFFs instead.
Sorry, Abel.
I know.
Feeling her away.
If he is listening, I know the exact face he's making right now too.
He's rolling his eyes at us. Abel's like very wise. I feel like he's on a maturity level that I'll just like never be at. So I just respect him for that.
Hey, you and me both, sister. Sometimes he's very black and white about things. And I'm so in awe sometimes of him because I'm like most of the times have all the feelings. And he's just like, what do you mean? Like there was a situation that happened in my family not that long ago. And he's like, it's very simple. Like, and then he like said the answer and I'm like, yeah, but, and I had all these like things to say about it.
Argue it and make it more complicated than it needs.
He's very black and white. I think a lot of guys are just very black and white. They have a lot of like.
It is the gift of men. They really do try to keep things simple. And I just adore that about them. They don't overcomplicate things like women do.
Yeah. And I mean.
And they're much more straightforward, which is also great.
It's a blessing and a curse, it's a blessing and maybe I'm not going to say curse because it's really not in any light a curse, but it's a blessing and it's also like a burden, I guess, a blessing and a burden sometimes because in feeling everything and seeing all the angles, that's what I'll say. And seeing all the angles of a situation, we get to see all sides, which is a blessing, but we also have to feel through almost everything, which could be a lot for us. But yeah, he's very black and white about a lot of things. I really am jealous about that. He's trying to train me, but we don't always agree. So
he's great. I love when I
He
call
does.
you and I'm like having a meltdown and I need advice, which I don't actually need, but I just need you to tell me what I already know.
Yep.
And like Abel steps in and he's like, how about this perspective? And then I'm like, yes.
Yeah, like almost every conversation we're like, isn't Abel the best?
We're like, what does Abel have to say about this? Let's consult him.
I keep telling him to come on the show and he's just like, what am I going to say? I'm like, anything.
Anything about life, everything you say is amazing.
It's true. Yeah, it's very true. Anyway, should we take a break? I think it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
It's worth the wait, guys. Come back after the break.
Come back for the show. It's worth the wait. Practice your patience, right?
Oh my goodness.
Right.
See you in a second.
Hey guys, welcome back. This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Care Of, which is a wellness brand that makes it super easy to get the right vitamins, supplements, and protein powders for your specific needs delivered straight to your door. And we love Care Of because, like I just said, it gets shipped to your door, so it's really easy. You don't have to go shopping for vitamins and such. They have super cute personalized packaging. I love how the vitamins come in daily packets. So when I'm traveling, I can just pop a few packs in my bag, good to go. What do you love about Care of, Linz?
Well, first of all, I kind of had this like sneaky thought that it was going to be super complicated to like set up and how are they going to know what to give me? But the process, it could not be simpler. You just take like a 5-minute quiz. They ask you what your goals are in terms of what you want to achieve with the vitamins / supplements / herbs / protein / God knows, they have so many things on their website. But you take a 5-minute quiz, answer some questions. I love how they cater to pretty much any lifestyle. They have vegan, vegetarian options. They are safe for me to take because I'm nursing. Again, talking about being a nurse. Hey, it's important, okay, for these things. It's very important. So the fact that they have those prenatals and that are suitable for me to take while nursing is fantastic. And I love how they give you like little facts and stuff on your little packets with your name.
The vitamin packets, how
Yes.
they have quotes and facts.
Yeah, yesterday's was take a picture of the sunset and send it to a friend. That's so cute. I forgot to do it.
Yeah,
but
I didn't get no picture of no sunset.
I totally forgot to take a picture, but now I will probably do it tonight. But yeah, they give you like cute little things. But and all the little vitamin packs are compostable, so they have really easy to follow directions on their website if you guys are into composting, so that it's very responsibly packaged and stuff like that. And yeah, Care of's fantastic. Really, really fantastic.
Yeah, we're definitely loving it. And we want to offer you guys 25% off your first Care Of order by going to takecareof.com and entering the code Vibin at checkout.
VIBIN. Takecareof.com at checkout. Enter the code VIBIN. Get 25% off your first order and then start loving them just as much as we do because they really are great.
Yes.
All right. I think we got one more left.
Our next thing, I have 2 more on my list, but whatever we have time for.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
whatever we don't have time for, we'll just continue the episode on our Patreon.
That's a good point.
We always run out of time.
We always run out of time. Okay, so check it out. The last one that I have, and then we can talk about the one, but I think this was yours anyway. Remember how you are the same. So why don't you expand on that for those that are like, huh?
Okay, so something that I wish I could tell my younger self is focus more on how you're the same as other people. Because I'm a very Aquarius person in the sense that I'm very much into my individuality and I admire being different and I admire other people's differences and I really value uniqueness. But sometimes it's just so much of the extreme that I feel like I never fit in, or I feel like I don't belong, or I feel like nobody will understand me. And I feel like I could have eliminated a lot of those unnecessary feelings of feeling like ostracized and alone if I just focused more on how I'm the same as other people.
This is so important. I know what you were saying about how like you always felt like, did you use the word outsider? Because that would be the word I would use to describe myself.
Yeah.
just like different. And again, I moved around a lot as a child. So I was always the new kid. And I did not like All Eyes on Me because I was afraid that they would know all the stuff I didn't want them to know. So I think this would have been amazing advice for now I'm looking at the child version of me, like the elementary school version, when things were so rocky. I think this would have been invaluable. And the biggest thing that I can think of, like looking back now, it's kind of comical, but like I knew I was different mostly because I hated my name. My mom named me Lynnsey for her middle name. Lynn is Lynn. And so she just added SEY, which seems simple. Like, why don't more people do that? That's so easy. But like at the time I was like, no, it's too different. I never had my name on any of those little like keychains or anything. You can never find it. And I always knew I was different. And it's funny because the Lynnsey name, just Lynnsey, was everywhere in my school. Like I even had a locker next to a Lynnsey Robinson. I'm not joking you. We had in the same grade. We were right next to each other for our entire school careers. Shout out to Lynnsey Robinson, wherever you are in the world. But like I always got, like we got each other's graduation photos in the mail because they confused the two. My name was hella common, but the spelling of it was different enough to just annoy me because I could never get the perks of having a common name, which is like get your name on your door, like the keychain kind of thing. But, you know, remembering how you're the same, if I could go back and tell myself, remember how you're the same. The reason this hits me so hard is because I don't know what I would have said. Like, how was I the same? I was smaller than everyone. I was always the new kid. I had a weird name. Like, what was the same? What was the same for you, Kels? I think that's something we could definitely dive into.
I just wish I would have not put so much emphasis on, oh, you're so different. Like sometimes there's a part of me that likes that, but sometimes it comes back to bite me in the ass because then I don't feel like I can fit in, or I don't feel like I'll be understood. So, I mean, I'm the same as other people because I'm a person. Like I have the same feelings. I'm interested in certain hobbies. Other people are interested in those hobbies too.
Yeah.
I like doing certain things that other people like. Or it's not even about doing the same things or liking the same things. It's like I'm passionate about something, so is everybody else. Everybody else is also passionate about something, you know? Or it's like sometimes I cry myself to sleep at night. Everybody does that sometimes, you know? Like we're all the same. And if we could just focus more on our similarities than our differences, I think the world would be in a much, much better, more empathetic, more compassionate, more understanding place.
Yeah. And it's funny because during the break, we were kind of touching on this a little bit. And I mentioned something like, I feel like when we're younger, like when we're children, we want to blend in. We want to fit in. At least, you know, I did for sure. But when we get older, like the things that I didn't like about my name are my favorite things about me. You type in regular LynnseyRobinson.com, that's probably not, no one even probably has that. Maybe, but you type in my name and that's my space. Like everything with my spelling is mine because I'm the only one, which is fantastic for like running a business and for wanting to stand out. But I feel like as we get older, we tend to maybe more embrace those different parts of us and those things that make us quirky because, oh my gosh, especially now, you could get lost in the sea of coaches or people, wellness professionals. There's thousands, there's millions of them. So anything that kind of makes you stand out, which also helps that I'm a hypnotherapist because there's not a lot of them really online anyway, but that's what makes you stand out, right?
Well, and also for some people, the more important thing to remind themselves of is their unique qualities.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely
different. It is the special thing that only they can bring to the table. But for people like me who can err on the side of slightly self-absorbed and thinking you're so special because you're so different from other people, that's when you need to reel it back in and find the balance and be like, okay, but really I'm just a person like everybody else and we all go through the same stuff.
Yeah, it's important to embrace the quality. Yeah, and the sameness helps with the oneness, right? If you think about how you're the same, it helps you to remember not to be so judgmental. Dude, this thing helped me so much because I don't remember where I heard it from. It was on the radio or something, but maybe it was Oprah. She knows everything. But it was like, if you can just like, if somebody, for example, cut you off on the freeway, that is so annoying to me. I can't even, like, I have such suppressed road rage because I want everybody to just drive the way that they learned in driving school, and nobody does it. But anyway, that's tangent. If you think of the person that cut you off on the freeway as your brother or sister, she's like, oh, my sister, she's so silly. Why'd she do that? It helps you so much in not being judgmental. Or somebody on TV that you're so ready to judge, which that's me completely. If they're on TV, I'm like so judgmental of them. I don't know why. But like, only for stupid stuff. Like if they're dumb, I'll do it. But like if I just look at that person that's so annoying on TV and be like, that's my sister, I immediately switch to the love. I immediately do. It's like magic for me. It's never failed me at all. And it's just like, you look at the person so much different once you remember that really we are all brothers and sisters on this blue planet. But it's easy to forget, but it's also so easy to remember if you switch that perspective. I said it. If you switch that perception to just love and like, that's my sister, you're my sister, that's my brother.
That's so
Isn't that cute? Like,
that's,
who's the last person you were really pissed off at?
I don't know. Probably myself.
You don't even have to.
I usually don't get mad at people because I'm very understanding.
Dude, I do so often.
I
Not
always
really,
think
not
about-
really mad, but
I always just think about what it would be like to be them. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I would have done that same thing. So I get it. It's fine.
see, and for me, it's not easy. I mean, it is, but it's not easy for me to really like think of that all the time. I'm very empathetic. So I can put myself in someone else's shoes pretty easily. But that's only if I remember to do that. Otherwise, I'm like, why they do that? What are they doing? And then if I just say like, oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. Yeah, I swear to God, in like a split second, I go from like, why they do that to like, oh my goodness, they're that little rascal, you know? it's like it comes from such a more loving place.
Little rascal.
That little rascal. So yeah, embracing your differences, embracing your differences, and embracing how you're the same. How are we the same? Because we're pretty different, but we're also pretty the same.
Yeah, we're kind of different, but we're kind of also the same. We're mirrors to each other in a lot of ways. So we both have like a really anxious aspect. We're both perfectionists, type A, entrepreneurial. What else are we?
We are impatient.
We're both impatient. We both ask for too many signs from the universe because sometimes we don't trust that things are going to work out.
But I will say this though, the only other person I know of in this entire galaxy is you, to get as excited about the wonders of the universe as I do. Nobody else gets as excited as me. I'm just like, oh my God, that's so amazing.
We both love talking about energy and the esoteric and the universe and unseen things. And yeah, we're both passionate about connecting. We both love kids a lot.
Yeah.
We both love love and romance.
Yep.
Both,
and we're both badass.
Giggle a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah. We are gigglers. Hey, we have 2 minutes left. Do you want to do what we would tell our future selves? Just for fun? Or do you want to do the last one on your list?
I don't know what I would tell myself right now.
Oh, what would I tell my future self?
Thanks for being a badass. See you later.
Thanks for not giving up. Thanks for taking that risk. Yeah. I would say that. Yeah. But talking to your future self gives you the presupposition that it's all working out, which that's hard for people to really grasp onto. Like, well, how do I know where I'm going to be in the future? Sure. But if I'm coming from a place that it's only getting better and better, which I feel like it is, then what I would want to say to myself now in the future is keep going. You're doing it. And it's all working. And freaking relax sometimes. That's what I need to do. Relax.
So relax. You're already doing it. And with that, we're going to probably continue this conversation a little bit over on the Patreon. So if you want to join our Patreon, it's patreon.com/highvibe. And until then, we will see you guys next week. We love you. Have a great week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing and for leaving reviews. And
thanks for hanging out with us and thinking about what you would say to your past self. I still want to know what that is. So connect with us on social and we will see you guys there. See you next week. Okay.